Von Allen Sports. Sports.
Hey, look, here's the deal. Look, I want to buck you guys up a little bit. Did you hear what I said? I said buck you guys up. Von Allen Sports, this is Sleepy Joe, and I got to give you a shout out, man. He's a good guy, because he could kick my ass, that's why. But he's not going to do that. He's going to pick on an old man. Here's the deal, guys. I got a whole dossier on you here. You could probably never shut up about Tom Brady, right? Tom Brady. Von Allen Sports, let's go. I don't like that, man. That's too close to let's go Brandon. Let's be honest, you football guys. I know what you're doing at the game. You're all chanting, let's go Brandon, let's go Brandon. Von Allen Sports, let's go. I think you guys are great. And I think I ought to join your group. You know why? Because I'm basement butthurt, that's why. I spent the whole campaign in the basement, and I'm gonna do it again. That's how I win, you know. They locked me in the basement. So I'm basement butthurt. I'm halfway there, guys. Let's do this. Come on, man.
Von Allen Sports.
Enjoy the silence.
Von Allen Sports on Patreon. Fuck you. I'm joining.
Von Allen Sports.
If you're not watching Von Allen Sports, fuck you.
This is the man with the most badass name in sports, the Pharaoh, the Egyptian god himself, Amon-Ra St. Brown. And on behalf of my man Von Allen, we want to thank you for your support. Let's fucking go.
Von Allen Sports.
What is up, guys? How are y'all, man? All right, so we got a lot to talk about right now. This side's so this needs to move. Give me just a second. I'm going to move something over. Okay, so yeah, that was a little dark there, so I'm just gonna hold this down just a bit. There we go. Let's go. Perfect. All right, nice. All right, so we're gonna have a interesting night because of a lot of things we have to talk about and a lot of things we have to get to as well. So just first off, I'm just gonna mention why we're doing a show on Friday night, so tonight. So basically, I am going home to Arkansas for Christmas to see my family, my mom specifically, which is of vital importance, timing-wise. And I'll be traveling all day tomorrow, so won't be able to do the show. However, I do plan on dropping in intermittently as I can on Sunday and Monday. So I'm extremely interested in the Patriots-Chiefs game this week because nothing would be funnier and more hilarious than the Patriots defeating the Chiefs. That would be, it's not going to happen, but I'm just saying, wouldn't that be fun? Or what if they even struggle? That would be fun, right? So now, all right. So we have a lot to talk about tonight. We've got the Patrick Mahomes meltdown. We have the quarterback tournament. By the way, guys, if you haven't joined Patreon and you want to get into the tournament, you still have 1 hour to do that. So it's at patreon.com/Von Allen. We're going to be covering Eagles Cowboys, a game from last week, and talking about the Cowboys and Eagles going forwards and what they're going to be about. Rumors about the Patriots and Belichick, the Chargers, how I'm going to predict that the Browns actually might do something this year because Joe Flacco all of a sudden learned how to fucking play football again. It's miraculous. It's amazing. So we'll cover that. And let's see. Oh, yeah, the tournament. So the second tournament for this year, the final tournament of the season, begins tonight. So you get to pick your quarterbacks. Just to give you time to be thinking about this tonight, when you pick your quarterbacks, everything stays the same in the tiebreaker scheme. Okay, so all the original stats in the tie-breaking sequence, which we'll go over again later. Just giving you a heads up now. But we only have this year, for this tournament, we're only using 2 stats. One stat, you'll either get the yards, all yards of how he can get it. Doesn't matter if it's running or passing or whatever. And then there is the touchdown to turnover ratio. And that's what we're going to stick with from now on. The completions were a bit too boring for me. And the turnover stat just in general was too boring for me, and then I just didn't like it. But when we did the touchdown turnover ratio in the finals a few weeks back, I really liked that. I thought that was cool. I liked how that went. So that's what we're going to do from now on. So that's the deal. So you're either going to roll a 1 or a 2. 1 is touchdown, turnover, or yards. So. Basically, it's even and odd numbers just to fix that problem. So, because I don't have a coin, but I really didn't want to flip a coin, but I guess we could. But I wanted to really use my dice. That'd be cool. All right. So I don't know. Maybe flipping a coin would be cool. I have a cool. Actually, funnily enough, I have a cool coin that Martin Luther King's granddaughter gave me. Yeah, but I don't want to bust that up. I would need like a soft landing for that. I don't know. We'll figure it out. So we already have a super chat to get us started off here. 146 zigzag since the $5 super chat says Patrick Mahomes is the biggest crybaby I've ever seen, forever and ever. Why, yes. Well, maybe. Kind of. Okay, so I have some conflicting feelings about that. Like it's just kind of, yeah. So let me just see who's here real quick, and then we will get started because I like to see who is all here early. It's awesome of you guys to do that. By the way, Super Chat goes through Rumble, so the link to Rumble is at the very top. It's pinned to the top. And if you want to join the tournament, patreon.com/Von Allen. If you're already a member on Patreon, you're you're already in the tournament. I already put your names in and everything. So you're good. So you just stay where you are. You don't have to do anything. So. Elf of Courage, first one here. Elf, did you get your Xbox? I never got a confirmation of delivery. Well, to be honest with you, I never checked. But you're supposed to get it like I sent, it was sent like 2 days later or something. I don't know. It should have been there by now. So just let me know if you got it. I think I may have locked my cat in a room. Give me just a second. See, this is what happens when Melena's not here. Everything falls apart. So I locked my cat in the room. A cat that won't shut up if it gets locked in a room. So we're good, though. It's Ramsey's, of course. Who else? All right. Thank you for that, Zigzag. Appreciate it. We have another super chat from Alpha Courage. Let's check this one out. Boom. Elva Curry sends the $10 super chat. He says, Terrell Owens has gone full clown mode. Uh-oh. What'd T.O. do? Tell me about it, or I can look it up real quick. I have a bad feeling it's about something related to Mahomes, probably, or the Chiefs. Bitcoin Motorist, what's up, man? Israel, hey, congrats on your Cowboys winning. That was a big win against the Eagles. Igor Tharn, what's up, man? Yep, Staley being fired, that was way overdue. I've been asking for that for 2 straight years. Like, why is this guy... I didn't even like his hiring. I thought that was stupid. I don't like all these guys, man. I mean, these guys that get just picked just because... Just being a good coordinator is not enough. That seems to be the all you need to put on the resume is, oh, I was a good coordinator. No, you got to interview these guys. You got to see what they're like. Like how do they deal with complex situations? And the interview process for a head coach should be very, very difficult. It should last a long time, and you should try to get it perfect, but they don't. They're just like, oh, this guy had a good year as an offensive coordinator, we want him. Or, oh, this guy looks like kind of like the other guy who got hired and worked out, or the McVay effect, So they don't know what they're doing when they hire. So I just wonder, I mean, the Chargers fired their head coach and their GM. I'm not so sure the GM was the problem, was he? I mean, and the roster is pretty damn good. It's been they've had some great players. I'm not so sure. I mean, I'm not an expert on the Chargers team or anything, but their roster is pretty damn good. I mean, that roster was good just even years ago. They were good. They're still good. It was one of the teams that I thought that Tom might, want to look at, So that was before Herbert got there. But why can't you just fire the owners? The Spanos family, like, they're morons. They're idiots. So, I don't know. You excited, buddy? You excited? Yeah? Yeah, no, huh? Let's go. Ramsey's is pumped, man. He's just going all over the place. What's up, Amelia? How you doing? Amelia sits above me on a cat tree right here. Right over my microphone. She's looking right at me. She's like, what's up, Dad? All right. Last night's game against Chargers versus Raiders, that was the most pathetic crap I've ever seen in my life. Don't quote me on this because it might have happened. I cannot remember 63 points in person. I mean, I know it's happened in NFL history. I just don't know if I've ever watched 63 points be scored up on the board. Maybe, but I can't recall instantly any time I've seen a team score 63 points like as it's happening. Never. I don't think I've seen that. Maybe, but I don't think so. I think it usually bottoms out like at 59. That's 59 is usually the number that it gets. But 63, that's bad. That's just awful. John Thomas Chavez, Sierra Chubbs, Jalen is here. Blind Assassin is here. Anthony, a.k.a. Anthony. Ryan Dyer, what's up, man? Eddie, where you been, buddy? Where you been? Okay, what a funny time to come on. Because I'm going to talk about the Browns tonight. I'm actually planned on it. I actually planned on talking about Joe Flacco and the Browns. Can you believe that shit? Okay. So, good timing, man. Great timing. Addy is back. Let's go Browns. I know I'm going for them. Okay. Yeah, Milena, you're not being here is difficult for me. Your son is going nuts. Okay. As he's been living life, living a busy life. Yeah, I didn't catch that game though. The Dolphins Broncos game. Like I wasn't watching it. Like this one, I was just watching it fall apart in real time. I mean, it's weird when you're watching it as it happens. You know, the incident with the Dolphins and Broncos, that was kind of just pushed up on the screen after it happened because I didn't catch the first slate of games. I had to rewatch them later. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, I know it's happened a lot. It actually happened more often in the old days, like before the merger and stuff. Everything was so lopsided. You know, the teams were so. It's like you were either amazing, you're really amazing, or you suck badly. It was very strange. But just watching it as it happened, that was weird. Yeah. Bitcoin says it was a scoregami, huh? What was the final score? It was 63-14, right? Yeah. Okay, all of y'all are posting about the Fin score. I guess I didn't make it. Okay, I thought I said what I meant was I hadn't saw it. I didn't get to see it live. I've never seen it, like witnessed it, watched it as it happens. So, it was 21. Okay, 63-21. I stopped paying attention at the end there. So that loss to Tennessee from the Dolphins, that was utterly pathetic. That's a bad sign for a team wanting to make a run here. But the AFC seems to have some weaknesses, you know. So we've got some openings for, you know, a few teams that's not just the Chiefs. Like I said, if you're going to beat the Chiefs, though, you're going to have to beat them outright. I stick to that. And the more things like this happen, the more controversies that happen against the Chiefs during the regular season, only makes me more confident that we're all in trouble when it comes to this. You know, so it's not just going to. They're not just going to keep fairly calling things. They're not just going to keep doing it. It's not going to just continue. That's not. I don't think so anyway. So hopefully they'll get blown out by somebody. Now that's quite possible with the way they're playing. The Chiefs. They're playing. Okay, they're 8-5 right now. They shouldn't even be 8-5. Okay, they should be closer to. Well, they should be 7-6 in my opinion, and possibly even worse. But definitely should be 7-6 right about now. They're just not playing good football, but they were bailed out, you know, once or twice, depending on your each game, depending on which game you're talking about and how you feel. All right, so Addie, Haven't seen a super chat from Addie in a while. This is cool. So, how you doing, Addie? Did you get married yet? Addie Vasorno sends a $5 super chases. And Flacco, we trust. Let's go. Everyone, let's get hyped up. Dog check. Let's go. Hell yeah. Okay, so I'm pushing for the Browns. Here's what I want, okay? If I could just get one wish, just this is what I would love to see. The Cleveland Browns versus the Detroit Lions. Let's get it done, okay? Let's get it done. My God, that would be hilarious. That would be the greatest thing ever. But you know what? I have more confidence in the Browns right now getting to a Super Bowl than I do the Detroit Lions. And the Cleveland's got to win some games. They've got to, get in. They're not going to win their division. That's clearly Baltimore's. So they're going to have to get in on the 5th or 6th seed or the participation trophy 7th seed, which I think they can pull off. I think they can just keep playing well. But I still actually think that the road for the Browns to the Super Bowl is much easier. Easier, I should say. Nothing's easy in the NFL, but you get my meaning. Than the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions also don't seem to show up when they can take advantage. So they should have been able to run over the Chicago Bears and just really just take off and really start competing for, very, very possibly even home field advantage, and stay into that group, of who's vying for the number one seed. All they had to do was beat the Browns and beat the Bears and just stay in that contention. Something that should be a formality at this point, considering how well they've been playing and how badly the Bears have been playing. But this is what bad organizations do. They can have a cool year where they look pretty good and they look okay, and it's like, whoa, maybe they got something going, but then they fall apart when it's a game that they actually have to win, or they should win, or people expect them to win, and they just don't get the job done. And that can't get you very far, especially with a playoff that's going to have even the Eagles. I know they're kind of down right now, but even the Eagles, in a playoff scenario, I think the Eagles would beat them. The Cowboys would beat them. The 49ers would crush them. It would be an absolute annihilation. So I'm not very confident in them. But the AFC has an opening, and the AFC does have openings. So Baltimore is the best team in AFC, obviously. I mean, can you think of a better team in AFC than them? Because they are just built perfectly to make a run right now. However, while Baltimore could be a scary matchup for the Dolphins or the Chiefs, or whatever piece of shit garbage team that comes out of the NFC or AFC South, I think we should just fire that whole division. The Browns are division rivals with the Ravens. They know them, and these two teams just are very familiar with each other. And that could have a very weird effect. That could have a very, shocking effect. If you remember, one that jumps to my mind immediately is Rex Ryan's Jets taking the Patriots out in 2010 after the Patriots were just dominating all year, everybody, including the Jets. Brady wins an MVP, unanimous MVP, and they go against the Jets in the divisional and can't even win at home. That wasn't just about the Jets being playing better that day. In general, it doesn't mean that anybody else could have done what they did. Honestly, any other AFC team that had visited them would have lost. The Jets were really the only team that was going to win that game, if anybody was going to win that game. And there was a familiarity there, and a lack of fear, a lack of just we're used to it. We know the Patriots. We go to Boston every year. We play them. We know how they are. We know Brady. We know Belichick's tendencies, what they like to do. and they were just the team that happened to get it done there. The Cleveland Browns could do something like that, So they've got a good defense. Joe Flacco, we've seen him before go on a run with a team like this. He did it in 2012. So anything's possible. It would be interesting, honestly. It would be very interesting to see a Cleveland Browns Baltimore Ravens playoff game with Joe Flacco going against the Ravens and going up against the guy who replaced him. Wouldn't that be really cool? So, yeah, I like that too. With division games, they just like anything can happen. You'll see the Bengals, play like garbage against some bad team, and then with a good team in their own division, they'll win. And then it's just a very, like I've always preached, division games are weird, but regular season versus playoffs is a bit different. So that's really what you're going to have to take a look at. I'm gonna go to the playoff machine here just real quick. You guys ever use that playoff machine thingy? All right. Okay, so right now the Browns are a 5th seed. They're 8-5. They've got the Browns this week, so the Lions couldn't. I mean, God, why do I keep calling the Bears the Browns? All right, the Browns have the Bears, okay, this week. So let's say that the Browns get the job done. They're at home. They should be able to beat the Bears, although we saw what Detroit decided to do. But Detroit and Chicago are in the same division, so that could have exactly what I'm talking about. That could have that weird effect. Whatever. Not too worried about it right now. But I think the Browns can beat the Bears. So this AFC-NFC matchup here. That would put the Browns at 9-5. Baltimore, they're playing Jacksonville. In Jacksonville, I don't know. I'm not impressed by the Jaguars. I think no. Baltimore's going to win that game, okay? So that would put Baltimore at the number 1 seed. Let me put this on screen share, see if you guys can see that. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so if we just go, so Raiders are already locked in. So we got Vikings at Bengals. The Bengals have actually proven that they can play okay, even though they've lost Burrow. I'm not saying they're a powerhouse or anything, but they could win a game like this. I'm going to give them the victory, although. All right. Pittsburgh at the Colts. Does anybody trust either of these games? Either of these teams? I don't. Oh, screw it. Just put tie. Okay. That doesn't mean I think it's going to be a tie. It just means we're just going to let that ride. All right. Denver at Detroit. I am not happy with how Detroit's playing, and with Denver, they're doing well. I don't want to read too much into last week what happened with the Bears, but this is the time of year where you need to get hot, and you need to, and Denver is on the up. Detroit, they're kind of sputtering, but I think they can win this. Okay, so I know it's weird that I'm making my picks right now, but I just wanted to kind of follow this train of thought here. Just going to do this real quick. So Jets, Dolphins, boom. Houston. Oh, yeah, that's going to be weird. Okay, so I wasn't even giving it much thought. I was just wanting to see kind of how this would work out. So somebody's got to win the AFC South, but right now, if this playoff started, and all my picks are correct, as it would be, so it would be this way: Cleveland 9-5. Okay. Week 16, Cleveland's got Houston. That's a winnable game. Who does Baltimore have? Ouch. Baltimore and San Francisco. That's at home. I'm going to have to give that to San Francisco. Just for fun. That's not an official pick, okay? We're just kind of playing around here. Week 17. Look at this. The Browns get the Jets. That's a winnable game. Look at that. That's good. Okay. Where is Baltimore? Against the Dolphins. Another hard game. Holy crap. Huh. Okay, just for now, we're going to say Baltimore. Let's look at week 18 here. Okay, Baltimore's got the Steelers. They can win that one. Browns versus Bengals. I think the Browns could take that if they're already on a winning streak coming in. Okay, so it doesn't look like they're probably going to win. Baltimore would have to lose to Miami, and then Cleveland would take the second seed. So that's interesting. Of course, I didn't input all the other stuff going on, but yeah, just for fun, kind of seeing what that would look like. All right. Well, Addy, I think there's something there. I think I like the matchups for the Browns coming, and I don't like the matchups for the Ravens. You know, that's not good if you're a Baltimore fan. If you're wanting the number one seed, that 2-week stretch with the 49ers and Dolphins is not a gimme by any stretch of the imagination. But it would be nice to see Cleveland get a home game, win the division, and get a home game there. So. Okay, so let me go back here real quick and just see what you guys were talking about. Yehor Tharn says, would be funny if Cleveland won after giving Deshaun a fully guaranteed contract. Yes, that's just how things work sometimes, right? The New England Patriots gave Drew Bledsoe $100 million, and their backup goes and wins the Super Bowl. Bet they just never saw that one coming. And at least in this case, Joe Flacco is a Super Bowl champion. I don't know who made the call to go and get him. I don't know whose decision it was in the organization, but it was a good decision because the other quarterbacks that they were running the last few weeks are god-awful. They were absolutely horrifically bad. Don't even know if they're Canadian Football League worthy. But now they've got something. I'm not saying Joe Flacco is greatest quarterback or anything like that, but it's good to have a veteran in this situation when you lose Deshaun Watson, you know. So Eagles will lose the NFC East and get in as a wild card team. My God, it's quite possible now. You know, I mean, they're falling apart, man. They're falling apart. It's very, very, very strange. They need to get their shit together. Elva Courage says it's the Dolphins versus Cowboys. Wow, I haven't seen that Super Bowl in a long time. That was before I was born, anyway. Israel thinks, unfortunately, I think the 49ers are going to the Super Bowl. Israel is a Cowboys fan, as you guys know. He is not going to pick the Dallas Cowboys to go to the Super Bowl because they just know not to do that. It just, you know. I agree with him. I don't see anybody stopping the 49ers right now if they just keep staying with the momentum. Again, regular season's regular season. I use the regular season as a gauge, but playoff football's different. It's a different atmosphere. It's like when I was talking about earlier about Ravens, Browns. it's a different game. It's the pressure. It's just way different. And the Ravens have been there all the time, like over and over and over. They are just normally a ride in, for the playoffs. They're used to it. Their coach is used to it. That's a different game. It's a different thing than regular season, which is two times a year you see each other and stuff like that. So, but again, Cleveland might benefit from the familiarity, and that may be enough if they catch Baltimore on a bad day. But I would not want to run into the Ravens. If I was any other team, I would just hope that somebody knocks them out for you. But yeah. Out of Courage says Fins 49ers. Addy Visorno says 2025 is the year, but I have vowed to buy a Flacco jersey if we make the championship game. Dude, this is no lie, okay? Milena is in the chat. Ask her. The other night, I told her, I said, if Joe Flacco gets the Browns to the Super Bowl, I'm going to get a Joe Flacco jersey, Browns jersey, and I'm going to wear it on this show multiple times. Okay? I am not joking. I said that the other night to her. That's funny that you mentioned that. Luke R. says, how do the Chargers keep nailing quarterback selections just to fail anyway? That's a good question. Yeah, I mean, it's got to be something to do with the ownership. I'm not even gonna. I don't know how long the Spanoses have owned the Chargers. I'm not sure they owned I don't think they owned the team. Maybe they did. I'm not sure, but I don't think they owned the team when Dan Fouts was quarterback. But under the Spanos regime, they've had Ryan Leaf wasn't that good, but no, really. Who knows what could have happened with Ryan Leaf, but it's starting to look like the organization itself is garbage, right? So you got Ryan Leaf that started out badly, but then you go and you get Drew Brees. You get him and you pull him out of the second round, finds out, oh, hey, he's pretty good. Then you pull Rivers when you meant to get Eli Manning, but we all know the very weird ordeal between those teams and stuff. I think originally the teams were looking at Roethlisberger was supposed to be a Giant, or was it? Wait. Yeah. Roethlisberger was supposed to be a Giant. Phillip Rivers was supposed to be a Steeler, and Eli was supposed to be a Charger. And that was what the teams were looking at beforehand. So, and then everything just got all screwed up with Eli's holding out and saying that he wouldn't play for the Chargers. So, but they ended up with Phillip Rivers. So either way, whichever quarterback they get, they were going to get a franchise guy, right? So those teams that the Chargers had, the LT and all them together, that it's astounding that they underachieved so badly. Now, we have to admit that they were playing in a conference with Brady and Peyton Manning, and that's very difficult. But still, I mean, that roster is crazy. Like, surely you couldn't have just found a year to get to wedge yourself in there. If you remember, the Steelers went to 3 Super Bowls during the Brady-Peyton AFC domination. But each time they went because they snuck around. They snuck around the side when everybody else done their work for them. So the Steelers got to the Super Bowl in 2005 because the Broncos had upset the Patriots in the divisional game. So Pittsburgh's like, oh, we don't have to play the Patriots now. Boom, after getting knocked out twice before by them. So then you've got, fast forward to 2008, and you've got no Tom Brady at all. So there's no Patriots in the playoffs. And as far as the Colts, they lost to somebody, but I can't remember who. Who beat? Somebody look it up real quick. Who beat the Colts in 2008? And then 2010 comes around, and the Patriots are knocked out early by the Jets. So the Jets take out. Well, the Jets took out Peyton's Colts, and then the Jets took out Tom Brady in the divisional. So the Steelers found like the hole to get to the Super Bowl, but the Chargers could never break through, and it's kind of ridiculous, you know. So yeah, Yeager Tharn, exactly. They got to a Super Bowl with Stan fucking Humphries, man, and 94, and they didn't have a chance against the 49ers, but those were those days where the Super Bowl was played between the 49ers and the Cowboys. So Addie says, I'm having a blast that the whole AFC North is a giant juggernaut of somehow staying alive and winning games. I know, right? Like, it's weird. It's the epitome of hanging on, right? It's yeah. That's true. I mean, the Steelers, like, they win. They should be awful right now. You would think. I mean, they're not great or anything, but they're winning games. I mean, they've come through. Bengals lose Joe Burrow and they come through. They still get a win. You know, the Browns obviously, and the Ravens are just, well, the Ravens are the Ravens, right? So. Oh, Elf, I don't think Addie meant that they were juggernauts, just juggernauts as far as like they're all great teams. I think he was trying to say that they're juggernaut as in the best at staying alive and just hanging on. And I think that's what he means. Addie, I think Baltimore could drop one of those two games. But again, Cleveland's going to have to keep winning. We saw what Detroit did drop to Chicago last week. So just hopefully the Browns can. Why do I keep doing that? My God. Hopefully the Browns can just run over the Bears and get that done. So. Luke R. says, I'll quit watching the sport if Kansas City still ends up as the number 1 seed. Is that a spinoff of all those celebrities saying they're going to leave America if Donald Trump is elected as president? We have a $5 super chat from Alpha Courage. He says, I will be on a Royal Caribbean cruise ship the day of the Super Bowl. Didn't you do that last year too? Is that like your favorite thing, is to go on cruise ships? I've never been on one before. Although I'm going to have a nice, long, unenjoyable day tomorrow at the airport. That's going to, yeah, whatever. So, could you guys imagine? Think about this. Could you imagine the Browns winning the Super Bowl and Joe Flacco, like John Thomas Chavez just said, winning the Super Bowl, and Joe Flacco was the MVP, the Super Bowl MVP? Could you imagine that? Talk about the most bizarre, craziest shit. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. What do we do with Joe Flacco if he does that? What do we do with him? Okay? So that would give him a Super Bowl MVP with the Ravens. And then he took the Browns to the Super Bowl when he was the backup. He wasn't even the starter. What if he did that? What if he did that? What do we do with Joe Flacco after that? Man. You know, I might just have to make the theme of the entire show just Browns. And we're all going to have to become Browns fans after that, right? We're all just going to start wearing brown stuff, and then Addie's going to become my co-host. And that's really just how it's going to work, you know? So. Oh, Yegar Tharn nominates Tepper as the most incompetent NFL owner. Dude, there's a lot. I mean, we'd have to have like a contest or something. So. Israel says, Aaron, the Lions are still frauds, but they're getting better and better. I agree with that. They just need a defense next year, and I think within 2 years they'll be dangerous. Yeah, I thought they'd be good this year. I called that, but I mean, I didn't think they were Super Bowl bound or anything, but I wish I would love to see that happen. That would be great, but it doesn't look like. I don't know. I don't. That defense, like you said, they just can't be consistent. And if the offense isn't perfect every week, it doesn't seem like they can get anything done. So, and again, they're in the NFC. They're just going to get steamrolled by anybody good in that conference. So, wow, a lot of different picks here. So Yegar says Cowboys. Minuteman says Chiefs versus 49ers. Again, like I said, as long as the Chiefs keep all their games close, they will be bailed out. They will. Unless they just piss it away somehow, like with that weird game against the Bengals in 2022 in that AFC Championship game where, and this wasn't ref related at the end, but I'm just saying like weird situations happen to them sometimes where Patrick throws a pick right to, I think it was Apple, right to him, and he dropped it. That was, not only was that a pick, that was a pick six. That was a game ender right there. Then, right after that, Patrick Mahomes throws a deep ball, and then it gets deflected and then into the hands of a Bengal. And then they come back and they kick the field goal and they go to the Super Bowl. It was beyond their reach at that point. Like weird incidents like that happen. But if we're talking the standard Chiefs trying to drive down the field at the end, there's going to be flags everywhere. They are going to be pushed into the victory column. It will happen. I'm just telling you right now, get ready for it. It will. So it's going to take a blowout or at least if you keep it close, you're going to have to keep it where they don't have the ball last. Like don't give them any chances. Don't let them get out there because Patrick will throw it deep. They'll call a pass interference, and there it is. That's exactly what they'll do. That's the method that they've always gone by, is some bullshit pass interference call. Nobody has lived off of dumbass calls like that more than Patrick Mahomes. Do you have any idea how many interceptions this dude would have if it wasn't for weird flags and weird incidences and things? Like, this guy is like... Anyway, this is the year of Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, and they want a Chiefs dynasty, and they want to solidify this whole Patrick Mahomes GOAT bullshit. So there's other reasons too, but I just don't trust it. I don't trust it right now. I need to see more. So the last two Super Bowls have been absolutely pathetic. Very disappointing. The Browns beat the Ravens. Yeah, but again, it's not playoffs. That's not that. That's it's like Okay. I just really wish the Browns had been in and out of the playoffs every year for the last few years, even if they were like losing in the wild card or something, just to have that they had that 1 year where we were pulling for them. You guys remember that? What was that? Was that 2020? Where the Browns actually won a playoff game. Who'd they beat? Oakland, I think, maybe, or something. I don't know. But I remember cheering for the Browns in the playoffs. I think it was 2020. Yeah, Eddie Visorno says, yeah, NFL scriptwriters literally not giving a fuck if Flacco wins Super Bowl MVP. That means they're still on the writer's strike, right? They didn't get the memo. Yeah, Eddie, that's exactly. Everybody fell asleep at the wheel. So Ace says Kurt Warner's resume, except Super Bowls, is nearly identical to Rich Gannon. And it shouldn't be, though. Okay? So I think, well, wait. No. Rich Gannon was only MVP one time. Kurt was twice. Kurt won MVP in 99 and 01. Kurt possibly should have been MVP in 08. I mean, people can argue that all day long, but I think I think it's not crazy to think that he would have been MVP. I don't think anybody would have had a big problem with that. Alpha Courage, did you ever clarify your super chat about Terrell Owens? I guess I could just look it up. Oh, okay. Watching a Super Bowl on a cruise is pretty cool. John Thomas Chavez says, if Flacco led the Browns to a Super Bowl title, that alone warrants a Hall of Fame nod. What do we do with that? I mean, what do we do with that? That would be absolutely insane. What's up, Tyree? Tyree Vaughn is here. Tyree says 49ers versus Raven rematch. That would be a crazy game. That would be like two Mack trucks colliding into each other, going 75 miles per hour. It would be a much different game from the 2012 Super Bowl. It'd be quite the opposite. It'd be a lot of some, yeah, that would be a good matchup, and that might actually end up being what we're going to get. So I'm happy with anything other than the Chiefs. Okay, so they are the most insufferable fan base I have ever seen in my life. Okay, and now I'm not saying that they're the meanest or the rudest or worst. Just insufferable, meaning that they're very difficult to put up with. If we're talking about just complete, utter skankiness and complete just trash, probably the Eagles fan base. I mean, once you see a fan base literally eat horse shit and literally run into a pole chasing a subway train, throwing snowballs at Santa Claus, throwing snow and ice at visitor people who are just sitting in their chairs, and among the other things that clearly I'm forgetting because there's so many. They are definitely the worst, but they have a close second probably to, as far as violence and just complete idiocy and lunacy, a close second would be probably the Dallas Cowboys. So cannot remember a time. I've been to a lot of Cowboys games. So I lived in Dallas for several years. I went to a lot of Cowboys games there, and I've seen the Cowboys as visitors. Their fan base is trashy no matter where you are. Okay? So that game could be Cowboys game could be in Dusseldorf, Germany, and they would somehow manage to attract the worst Germans ever to that stadium and to act like complete idiots. So, I mean, I've seen it up close and personal. Cowboys fans can be pretty trashy. Israel, of course, is not one that I'm talking about, but I think even he will admit that they have a fair amount of nut jobs. So, okay. But when it comes to just insufferable, meaning spoiled, petty, just disgustingly annoying fan base, it's the Chiefs fans. Okay, it's the entitled. I mean, they are the team version of football team. They're just the team sports version of this new generation of kids, the new generation of teenagers, this entitled generation. Everything has to go their way, and if it doesn't, the Chiefs literally are Patrick Mahomes' little brother. Okay, like him, how he acts, and how Patrick Mahomes' wife acts, and you put those together. The Chiefs fans literally act like they are those people. Like, it's perfect. It's a perfect, And then Kelsey, being such the little bitch that he is, him going out with Taylor Swift, it just even makes it even more perfect. Like, they couldn't find a worse situation than that to add that on to what they're already doing. Okay. So yeah, so for the Chiefs, it's going to have to be a blowout, or a team is going to have to just play solid football where they don't let the Chiefs have a final drive that's going to beat them or something like that. Basically the Chiefs are going to have, if they lose on a final drive, it's going to have to be Patrick throwing like bad throws all over the place, because if any of his receivers are touched, it's going to be pass interference. It's going to be a flag. So. Or roughing the passer, something like that. Like when they tried to give the game away the other night. They tried to give that game away. So the one everyone's talking about, so what people didn't mention was the other calls that were actually helping the Chiefs that didn't make any sense. Okay? So it's very weird how people look at these things. For some reason, you can knock the shit out of Jared Goff in a Super Bowl going towards the sidelines, but you cannot do that to Patrick Mahomes. Let me tell you something. When a quarterback decides to run out of bounds, okay, when he decides to take off and run, he is deciding that I am not a quarterback anymore. I am now a runner. The quarterback's job is to throw the football from the pocket. That's why there are rules in place to protect you, because you are essentially defenseless in the pocket. You are standing there tall in the pocket. You're looking to get rid of the ball, and you're at the mercy of how well your offensive lineman can keep you from getting, the shit knocked out of you, right? There are people flying at your feet. They're flying at your legs, everywhere. They come behind you and all these things, right? So if you're hit certain way, the flag will come out, but that's the benefit of throwing from the pocket. So it balances out, right? When you decide to run out of bounds, you are making a conscious effort now that you are no longer quarterback. If that was a running back that was running outside and got hit, or a wide receiver, nobody would care. But it was a quarterback that got hit. But he's no longer a quarterback. He left the pocket. So what the fuck is this? Okay? So they got a terrible flag for that. There was another pass interference that call that they got that didn't make any sense. And then there was actually a pass interference call that didn't get called. So who fucking knows what's going on there, right? So anyway, there's a healthy amount of weirdness going in both directions. Give me just a second. I'm gonna grab a new Coke because I want to talk about this Mahomes thing, and then after we talk about the Mahomes thing, we'll move on to the tournament real quick, and then we'll come back and cover the other subjects. Okay? Give me just a second. Thank you, Tyree Vaughn. All right. Before I get started on that, I'm just going to catch up with the comments real fast. She sends let's see. Browns shooters in the wild card. It was the Steelers. Okay, yeah, that's right. It was the Steelers. Thank you, Addie. Ace says it would be embarrassing to Rodgers if Flacco makes it to the Super Bowl with a new team his first year. Would it? It would only be embarrassing if Rodgers didn't get injured and the Jets still suck. But the fact that Rodgers got injured, I don't know if that would be embarrassing because now that he's injured, his first year technically moves to next year. So I think people would still see that as a success. By the way, that would mean that Rodgers got the Jets a Super Bowl. Now, that's pretty bad too, let's be honest. If it wasn't for Joe Namath and a questionable Super Bowl, okay, let's be honest, the Jets still wouldn't have one. So they've not even been back to a Super Bowl since then. The Jets have never played in a Super Bowl since the merger. You can say that, right? So, I don't know. It's just, they're pretty bad, So, but nobody expects this from Flacco. That's true though. That would be the difference. Upper Courage says Terrell Owens slammed the NFL for not signing Kaepernick. Kaepernick? What the fuck? It's 2023, dude. The last time he was actually able to actually play okay, it's been a decade. Why are we talking about this guy still? Why is that? Why did that even get brought up? When you sue the league tends to not like that. Okay? Imagine suing your employer and then all of a sudden asking for a job from them after you've sued them and called them all kinds of names and shit and made them, whatever. So normally I'm not one to defend the NFL, but this is ridiculous. All right, whatever. So Colin had his chances. He could have been Lamar Jackson's backup, but he called Steve Biscotti and, or his girlfriend did anyway, alluded to them being a slave master and Ray Lewis is the slave. Okay. You probably don't want that to happen when you're on your way to a job interview. Just saying. So, why in the world would that be brought up? Like, it's going to be 2030 and we're going to be talking about Colin Kaepernick. That's way past. There is not one quarterback right now that I wouldn't take over signing Kaepernick. Okay, it's ridiculous. So Wow. Terrell Owens is probably broke, and he's probably trying to get something going with the whole race thing. It's a little late, Terrell. People are bored of this. People are tired of it. People are waking up from it. It doesn't fly anymore. So, Bitcoin Motor says, have a $2,000 bet against Niners and anybody but Niners. Wow. Okay. You put down 2,000 or you win 2,000. Psycho Mantis says, constant posts from Chiefs fans comparing Mahomes to Brady and Kelsey to Gronk. It's okay. Yeah. I mean, that's they're going to do that, right? I mean, that's just, it's ridiculous, but the Minuteman, yeah, Chiefs fans are the type of fans that Pats fans were stereotyped as in the 2010s. It's funny though, everything that Brady was always accused of, Patrick Mahomes actually is. That, so if you take Tom Brady was drafted to a Hall of Fame roster team, which is complete and utter bullshit, and we all know it. That wasn't true at all. That wasn't even close to true. Tom Brady was drafted to a 5-11 team that had a coach that was an utter failure up until that point that Tom started. So, yeah, I mean, we know the story. There has never been, okay, listen closely, there has never been a Hall of Fame talent, okay, like Mahomes, okay, or Hall of Fame projected guy, whatever you want to call it. There's never been a great quarterback that has literally gone into a situation so perfect as he did with the Kansas City Chiefs. Never. Nobody. And we all know why, okay? Most of the time, a guy that's picked that high is going to go to a bad team. That's why the team has the pick, right? So we expect that. Patrick had a team that was already a playoff team that moved up for him. That team was already built to win, and they just need that difference maker, which is him, right? But he did go into a great situation. And again, not faulting him for it. That's great. That's what you want, right? But it does matter when we're talking about all these stupid things like, no one's done X amount of better than Mahomes in the first whatever years. Well, no fucking shit, okay? No shit. Like this dude should be doing these things with the situation that he's gone in. In fact, it's only going to get harder as time goes on. It's going to be the opposite, okay? With a lot of guys, or most Hall of Fame guys and Hall of Fame trajectory type dudes, it never starts out good. It's always bad. It's always trashy at the beginning. There's rare times where it's okay, but you expect that. You expect it to be bad for them. So of course Patrick is starting out good because he was just inserted into a well-oiled machine already. So it's a bit ridiculous, to say all this. Oh, it's fastest to this or fastest to that or whatever. Really? What would impress me? What would impress me with Patrick and impresses me in general is a quarterback getting older and older as things change around him. So everything becomes different around him as he stays in the league for a long time, and he still wins. And he still finds a way to win. He still hangs on long enough to get the job done. Talking about Elway, okay? Elway, it looked like, how many times did he go to the Super Bowl and just couldn't get the job done? 3 times. Okay. Then his fourth time, he finally wins the Super Bowl. He's an old man. Okay. So, and then he wins a second one. Well, there was a situation with that one, but whatever. He won 2 at the end of his career. That's hard. That's hard to be a great quarterback in the 80s and go through all of those punishing losses. And then in the 90s, a new decade, a new type of football emerges, and you still are able to get the job done at the end there. So that's, different coaches, different everything. Everything's different. So that's very difficult and very impressive. And let's see if he can do that. Let's see, So it's already starting to show. Cracks are starting to show. With the Chiefs, one of the biggest problems I think they're having right now is the very fact it's not that they suck or anything. It's not that, Andy Reid became a bad coach or Patrick Mahomes suddenly forgot how to play quarterback. It's not that, okay? What it is, I think, mostly, is that the NFL has caught up with them. So every dynasty or even emerging dynasty, we'll call them a dynasty trajectory, okay? Meaning they possibly could become one. They've done the things correctly to become one, right? I think they would need to win this year or next year. But if they don't win this year, they do need to get far. They need to get to the championship game or something. So you've got that. You've got the Rams, who were on a dynasty trajectory until they ran into the Patriots. Eventually the NFL changes around them. Okay, a good example is the first half of the Patriots dynasty. So by 2005, things were changing. Okay, so first of all, your team ages a bit, the dynamics of it shift, and then the Patriots needed to make it more about the offensive side of the ball, start putting up a lot of points and things like that. The game had changed. Some rules have changed. Other teams were on to what they were doing, so you had to maneuver, and if you didn't maneuver, you died, right? So the Patriots switched because the time was up on that style. So the Broncos proved that in 2005. And then 2006, if they had even decent receivers that game, they probably put 50 up on the Colts, okay? So this happens, and I think that's what's happening here, okay? So the entire NFL, the reason it doesn't happen in 1 year, okay, is because it takes time to develop. You can know how to stop somebody, but you may not have the players to stop it that understand and have the ability to scheme it. So all day long, we're all watching what the Chiefs are doing. It's not quantum physics or anything, okay? So we can see what they're doing. Okay, how do you stop it? Well, I know how to put a lineup out, a schematic out there and put guys in the right spots that they should be in, but it doesn't mean that the players are actually able to do it. And that sometimes, this stuff takes years to develop. So through drafting and through different styles and stuff, it becomes more common, and that's what's happened. So you got to remember that the Chiefs were doing a lot of this stuff before Patrick ever got there. I've said it before. You go back and look at Alex Smith playing, and you'll be like, holy crap, that looks like Patrick out there, actually. Because it's the same kind of thing, just Patrick does it better. But the NFL has now evolved, and it's altered itself, and people have caught up, and that's really what's happening. So the Chiefs have to go back to the drawing board, and they have to really figure out what they're going to do. This is what I've been preaching for the last several years to you guys, is that I told you, do you guys remember when I said there's going to be a point to where Patrick is going to have to stop relying on all these amazing players around him, Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, and guys like that, just always being open, and the scheme of always being open, all those things, him relying on being able to get out of the pocket and improv and it always working out. I said that's going to eventually run its course. And what did I say? He's going to have to switch. They're going to have to switch to where they're defensive-minded, defense-focused, And Patrick is going to have to learn to throw from the pocket and understand reading the defense before the snap. He's going to have to change his game. He's going to have to start figuring things out. And here we are. And that's the crossroads they're at. If it doesn't work out for them, even if it does work out for them this year, I still believe that Andy Reid is going to there's going to be a dramatic shift and dramatic change in the way the Chiefs play football, offensive football. I think Andy's aware of this. He's always been good at understanding what's coming and how to shift and how to change. He understood all of the changes through the last 20 years. And I think now it's up to, is Patrick that type of player? Can he do that? Is he the type of player that can figure all that out, or is he not? So it's not easy. It's something that you have to work hard on. And I said hard on. But it's that curse of being physically gifted. And when you're physically gifted, you revert to that. And you always use that as a comfort, like a security blanket. You revert back to the physical and you try to make things happen. As where a guy like Brady never had the physical, so he was forced. So his natural setting is throwing from the pocket, understanding the defenses, reading them before the ball is snapped, okay? Knowing what they're doing, knowing what everybody's assignment is and all that. So that was his natural, familiar situation constantly. That is timeless, okay? I don't care what the NFL does around you. There will always be a spot for a quarterback like that. Quarterback like that can win in any era, any time going forward. It doesn't matter. Can Patrick switch to that? As far as his whining the other night, never, hardly ever, okay, I don't mean never, but hardly ever, do I defend the referees or the NFL refereeing stuff, okay? Here I'm going to. If this was the first time that the refs had called offensive offsides this year, if that was the first time, I would then say that they have a good reason to be pissed, okay? So it's like for example, like if it was like the pass interference in the Super Bowl, the whole game they were letting both teams pull on each other's jerseys, tug on each other, hit each other. It was all good, no problem, until the very last play where the Chiefs needed it. And they didn't call a hold on the Chiefs for holding the Eagles player, who was the reason why Patrick threw it out back of the end zone and why it was supposed to go to fourth down and force a field goal for the Eagles to get the ball back. But that wasn't the situation with this call, with this offsides. So the NFL has made a point to focus on this. It's become a problem each year. It's been getting worse gradually. But this year they did that. I have to defend them, okay? They said no more of that. So if it's egregious, they're just going to throw the flag. If it's by a little bit, they're going to warn you, okay? That's just how it is. It's the same thing as 2007 with the Spygate, all right? 2006, it was a memo. Hey, guys, kind of don't do that, but it wasn't a rule. 2007, it was a rule. In 2007, they implemented it, and they said, listen, no more filming from those areas that they had listed. No more of that. It's over. It's done. It's against the rules. And Bill Belichick said, well, fuck you. I don't care about the rules. Fuck your rules. Okay. And they got in trouble. Okay, so they broke the rules for week one, the first half of that game. Had they not been caught, had Eric Mangini not done that, he would have kept doing it all year. That's just the way it is, okay? This year, they have explicitly stated, we're going to call the offensive offsides if it is egregious. and the dude was in the backfield, the defensive side of the ball. His entire foot was across the line. It was ridiculous. Now, an offensive player having an extra step like that is very, very advantageous depending on his route, depending on what he's going to do. So that is a huge advantage depending on the circumstances. It could be a great advantage. So, because you've got other wide receivers who stand far behind the line of scrimmage, and that's because he's on a timing route. You don't want to get to your target too quickly. You want to end up there at a certain time. There's different reasons for that. That we're not going to go over. It's more of a going through step by step of plays and showing everything. Which, you know what, I think we should do that sometime. I think that might be fun. Never get to really talk technical and show the plays in different positions and why things are the way they are. I think we should do something like that soon. Although their Kurt Warner's channel is really good for that. But this guy was all the way across the line. It's ridiculous, okay? And you would think that the Chiefs of all teams would understand the line of scrimmage, especially with what happened to them in 2018. So I don't know why Andy Reid is not coaching this correctly. So, in my opinion, I think they were trying to get away with it. I think they consciously knew that they were lining up like that. Now, I don't know if Tony was the one that was doing that or thinking that he could, if it was something that they just did as a team. But regarding Patrick Mahomes' outburst, hey, Milena, what's up? Regarding, hey, do you remember the other night when I told you if Joe Flacco wins the Super Bowl for the Browns, I'm going to get his jersey? Do you remember that? Addie just said that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I told him that I'd said that to you the other night. How weird. So anyway, going back to Patrick's outburst. So I just want to be clear. I am not upset with Patrick for being angry in general, okay? I am a big fan of like passionate outburst, anger. I'll tell you, and I would be a massive hypocrite if I said, that how dare he, because I had an extremely bad temper when I was young, playing sports. So I cannot tell you how many times I've gotten in trouble, removed from a game. One of my own teammates punched me once, actually. That wasn't a good day. But anyway, I would have outbursts because I wanted to win so badly. I am a crazy competitive person. You guys who know me, if you play board games with me or something, I want to win. I care about it. But back then I had a bad temper, but I would have outbursts because I cared so much. And a lot of times it actually would help and get people riled up and things like that. So I get it. I totally understand that. I loved it when Tom would get pissed off, when he'd start yelling at people and all that. Absolutely love it. So to see Patrick angry and upset, okay, whatever. That's cool, man. No problem. The problem here, though, is what he was getting mad about and how he was acting. So he was mad about this offensive offsides call, which was clearly obvious. His anger is misdirected and misplaced, okay? He's frustrated because the way the season's going, first of all. That's already built up, all right? A lot of his players drop balls and things like that. Well, welcome to the NFL. You can ask Tom Brady about how that feels, okay? Okay, so he's upset about that. Fair enough. That's cool. No problem, right? He was yelling at the ref so badly that people were having to hold him back. Like, what were you going to do, dude? Were you going to beat up the referee? But he was yelling at the ref for a procedural call of a flag that was thrown at as soon as the ball was snapped, the flag comes out from the line judge. It's only because of Travis Kelce lateraling the ball and then that being a touchdown and probably would have been for the win is why he's upset. They still had a 4th down and didn't convert. Now, this is all after they had gotten moved down the field from 2 questionable flags. All right? So, not even counting that. Of course, you're Chief. If you're Patrick Mahomes, you're not going to count that because unless it goes your way, whatever. So, you cannot get that angry at a ref for a procedural call. Now, I understand a bad pass interference, something like that, a judgment call or a holding call that's complete and utter bullshit. All right, it's like, come on, man, you can't call that right. That's ridiculous, okay? I get that. Fine, totally fine. Get mad at the ref, whatever. Judgment calls, I get it. All right. But a procedure? Really? Everyone can see that was offsides, dude. Like, seriously? That is the weird part of this. In reality, he should have been mad at his player. So all that yelling and hold me back, he should have gone after Tony's fucking ass and walked up to and said, listen, you stupid ass piece of shit. If you ever do that again, I'm never throwing you the ball, okay? Ever again. And I think every one of us would be behind Patrick 100%, absolutely saying, go Patrick, tell that stupid ass off, okay? We've seen other quarterbacks do this. Totally fine with it. That is, if Tony wasn't doing that on purpose, well, he's an idiot even if he's doing it on purpose because the NFL told him not to do that. But if it was accidental, that's even worse. That just means you're a moron. So Patrick should have went after Tony. And I thought that I wasn't even sure when it first happened. I wasn't even sure that Patrick was mad about that call. I couldn't tell because there had already been a play after that. So I thought something happened on the 4th down that we didn't see, and I thought he was going after his offensive coordinator or guy in that vicinity. I thought he was yelling at a teammate or someone on the Chiefs. I didn't even realize he was yelling at the refs until at the very end when they showed the ref within the frame. I'm like, wait. So what happened? Something on 4th down that we didn't see? Maybe a call that he thought should have been. And I thought, okay, they'll show us the replay probably. But no, I found out he's talking about the offsides call on 3rd down. Really? That's okay. Whatever. There's a new play after that. So you've got to focus. You've got to be able to do your job. But the worst part of this is that he kept bitching to Josh Allen during the handshake. So Josh just got a big victory over his biggest rival, Patrick Mahomes. And he finally got a victory there in Kansas City. I don't think Josh has won in Kansas City before. I may be mistaken, but okay. But it's a big victory. And you're sitting there yelling this to Josh Allen like it's his fault. And Josh could end up taking that as, oh, okay, so I only won because you were screwed over on a call that you didn't agree with. That's very, very bad. That's not cool. So, again, just to recap, perfectly fine being pissed off at Tony. Perfectly fine, whatever. That's where your target should have been. So. All right. My glass is straight here. Okay. So you guys ready? Was it on 2nd down? I thought it was on 3rd down. Okay, well, if it was on 2nd down, that's even worse. That's even worse. That means there was 2 plays after that. So that's even more pathetic. Okay, so we're gonna get this thing kicked off here. The new tournament. I'm just gonna check Patreon and see if there was any new members, or see if anybody changed their settings before we get started. Okay, looks like everything's the same.
Explain what it is again. Maybe they have time or not.
No, they don't have time. I explained it thoroughly in the beginning of the show.
Can I play?
You're already in.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm a member.
Yeah. If you're already a member of Patreon, you're already in. So it's too late now. So I've decided I'm going to go ahead and use that Martin Luther King Jr. coin. Let me go get it. I will return soon. So, and then we'll get started. Okay. Be right back. All right. So we have Martin Luther King Jr. on the front of the coin, and we have America First on the back. Okay? So Martin Luther King heads is the stat will be touchdown to turnover ratio. America First being tails will be yards. Okay? That'll be the stats for this tournament. If you are not here, I am going to, as usual, pick your quarterback for you. So, which I will need the 10-sided die for that. Let's fucking go. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Elena. Amelia, go beep beep. She's waiting. And then you can give her to me. Okay. All right. So, first off, we have John Thomas Chavez. You are on a bye, my friend, so you are a winner already, so you're good. Good job. Ace, what's up? Yeah. Nightly Sinister. Oh, now the show can really start. Thanks, man. Can always rely on my friend from kindergarten to insult my ass. That's great. Okay. All right. So first up, we got Justin Chetlet. And Justin and Tyree, of course, have a lot of these. Versus Tyree, you have, Justin, you have 30 seconds to pick your quarterback, or I will pick him for you. Tyree, you are on deck, or you're next. On deck is Elf of Courage and Blind Assassin, so be thinking about your picks. And if you guys already get your picks ready fast, we can move this quite a bit faster for everybody if you want. So, let me give you your. I got a perfect spot here for the coin. Oh, that's if I don't drop it. It's heads, so your stat, Justin Shedlett and Tyree, your stat will be touchdown turnover ratio. On deck, Elf of Courage 5 versus Blind Assassin 3. Your statistic will be tails, yards. Oh, that won't work. Touchdown ratio, I'll just put that instead of 1 and 2. It's just easier. Okay. Now, if you're not up, don't post your quarterback yet. Okay, it's going to confuse me, so I'm going to have to go back and figure it out. So just be thinking about who you're going to pick, but don't post it until I call your name. Justin. Okay, so I don't think. Let me see if Justin's here. Okay, doesn't look like he's here, so I'm going to make his pick for you. But that gives Tyree priority. So Tyree, I need your quarterback, man. Touchdown interception ratio. Josh Allen. Good choice. Okay. Justin rolls a 1. And on the list, Jalen Hurts is your quarterback. Okay. Elf of Courage, it looks like you already posted yours. Brock Purdy. Okay. Blind Assassin. Blind Assassin, I need your quarterback. On deck is Nightly Sinister and James Grant. Your statistic will be Touchdown turnover ratio. Okay. So Blind Assassin, we're just waiting on you. Jalen Hurts. Okay. All right. Nightly Sinister, just need your quarterback first. And James Grant, if you're here, be thinking about that. James Johnson, congratulations, you have a bye. On deck is my mother versus Tyree Vaughn. So, mom versus Tyree is yards. So Tyree, be thinking about who your next quarterback is. Okay, Nightly Sinister. Kevin, since you said that this is now the show starts, I'm not gonna let him go on. I'm not gonna let him get away with that one. What? Kevin just went with football baby. Wow. Shocking. Okay, fair enough. Well, I mean, he's capable of having a big game at any moment, actually. Okay, so James Grant. I don't think James is here. I'm going to roll for him. If he does come or whatever, then yeah. So I'll give it back. So 5. Number 5 is Purdy. Purdy, you got a Purdy mouth. All right. Let's go. Okay. I'm going to roll for my mother. So, Tyree, you have a pick for me, man? Your statistic is yards. On deck is Bitcoin Motorist versus Jalen 3. Jalen's got 3 entries. And Bitcoin Motorist, he's got 3 as well. Okay. Your stat is Martin Luther King Jr. So, that is touchdown to turnover ratio. So you're on deck, you two. Tyree picks Purdy. That's really Purdy. Very Purdy of you. Melina, you're Purdy.
Thank you.
Well, Purdy. All right. Who's my mom going with here? Moogie's. Ooh, she rolled an 8. That's a tough one. Ouch. Oh my God. My mom has to go with Justin Fields. Great. Fields versus Purdy. That's terrible. Sorry, Mom. All right. Bitcoin is first. Jalen. Okay, so Bitcoin picks Jalen Hurts. Okay. All right, Jalen, need a quarterback from you. And let's see. Luke R., you have a bye. No, you're not bye. I'm not saying you're bye. I'm saying you have a bye. Okay. Huh?
Nothing.
What'd you say?
No.
You got a problem? All right. So Luke R., you are good. You go to the next round. Alpha Courage 4, you are good. That one goes to the next round. So on deck is Justin Shetlet and Tyree Vaughn again. Tyree, y'all's stats will be Martin Luther King. That's touchdowns and touchdown turnover ratio. So going back, do we have a pick from Jalen? Nope, doesn't look like it. Jalen's going with Purdy. A lot of people going with Purdy. You know why you're going with Purdy? Because you trust that he won't make mistakes. and that he'll have a good ratio. And that's why it's stupid that people are picking on him and saying that he's just a game manager and all this bullshit. Just what disrespect. Okay, Justin's not here, so Tyree goes Prescott. Good pick. Justin rolls a 9. Okay, sorry, man. You get Howell. This is why I say show up to the shows. Don't let the dice do it. Okay, James Grant versus Justin. Neither are here, but their stat is touchdown. On deck, okay, Blind Assassin 2, you get a bye. James Grant 3 gets a bye. On deck is my mom and Blind Assassin. That statistic will be heads. Okay, so let's go back. I just need to roll some dice real quick for James Grant. Another 9. What the hell? Howell. And Justin's quarterback will be a 5. Purdy. Brock Purdy. All right. Moogie. My mom's first pick is... Okay, sorry, Mom. I've just rolled you an 8, and now I rolled you a 10. I promise I'll roll better on the next one. Okay. She gets Jordan Love, Blind Assassin, 10. Well, roll again. 3. That's Lamar Jackson. Uh-oh. Mom's in trouble there. Okay. Elf of Courage versus Nightly Sinister. Your stat is heads, a touchdown to turnover ratio. Jalen 1 gets a bye there on that side. So, we're already almost finished with the first side. This is good. We're moving along good. So, Elf. I need a quarterback from you, buddy. The 2-time champion, Elf of Courage. Who's going to take him out? Who's going to beat him? Am I going to have to send another Xbox to Elf of Courage? Am I going to have to send 3? He's going to be able to open up his own GameStop by the time this thing ends. Okay? It's ridiculous. Elf of Courage goes Prescott. That means Nightly Sinister. I need a quarterback from you, Kevin. All right. Let's go. Move it. Blind Assassin says roll for Mom first. Yeah, I did. Her name's on top, so. Oh, well, no, actually, I can't do that because it's not fair. Because you're here. So what if her role takes a quarterback that you wanted, So. But she will get to pick hers next week because I'll be with her, and I'm going to bring her on the show. So you guys can meet my mother. Maybe I'll get my dad to come on too. Talk him into it. That'd be funny. Nightly, did we lose you? I've given you a lot of time here. Yep. All right, I'm going to have to roll for you, bud. He rolls a 4. That's Prescott again. Got to re-roll. 3. That's Jackson. Okay, so that moves us to the other side now. Let's go. Ryan Dyer, you get a bye. Justin Chetlet versus Bitcoin Motorist. Your statistic is heads. Touchdown turnover ratio. On deck is Jalen versus Justin Chetlet. And your statistic will be heads. And coming up behind them will be Elf of Courage versus Tyree. And your statistic will be yards. Okay, so that's as far as I'm going to go. So, Bitcoin, what do you got for me? TDR is touchdown to touchdown to turnover ratio. Bitcoin goes purdy. Bitcoin's so purdy. Oh. Okay. So roll for Justin. Oh, I rolled a 10. Man, I'm rolling badly tonight. This is terrible. Okay. Sorry, Justin. Okay, next that puts Jalen versus Justin. Jalen, I will take your pick first. I can go ahead and put that in. Elf of Courage goes with Mahomes, and Tyree goes with Prescott. Okay, the Gourd King, you get a bye. Congratulations. On deck is Tyree versus Blind Assassin. And your stat is yards. All right. Jalen, I need a quarterback, man. Dak. Okay, Justin. Okay, Justin, I'm going to try to roll good for you now. Here we go. Shit. A 7! All right. But it doesn't count. It's got to be inside the box. It's just like board games. I rolled a 12, man. A 12. But it's not so bad. It's Jared Goff. Okay, Blind Assassin, I need a quarterback from you. I'm not, Anthony, Blind Assassin, I am not rolling well tonight. I would lose all my money on the craps table. You're absolutely right. I'm rolling like crap on the craps. Blind Assassin, you got a quarterback for me? Purdy again. Well, no, Tyree Vaughn already picked Purdy. Need somebody else. Justin Chetlet versus Tyree is on deck. Deck, I said deck. Get your mind out of the gutter. Yards is your statistic. Bitcoin Motorist 1, you get a bye. Chris Queeley, you get a bye. And Justin Chetlet versus Tyree again. Coming up after that. And your stat is yards. Okay. So let's go back up. I need a quarterback from Blind Assassin. Can't pick Purdy. Mahomes. Yeah, I'm surprised more people haven't picked Mahomes. He's going against the Patriots. You guys haven't forgot that, right? All right. I mean, I know that the Patriots defense can play blah, 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 but I suspect that the Chiefs are probably going to be going deep on every single play on Sunday. But don't let me influence you. Okay. Tyree, I think you picked one. Let's see. Tyree, are you really picking Zappy or are you just kidding around? I mean, this is for yards. Surely you're not picking Zappy for yards. Thank you, thank you. Okay. Tyree Vaughn's going Prescott. I think for yards, I think Mahomes might be a pretty good pick, but they're going to throw it a bunch. They're just going to be all pissed off and try to send a message and all that crap. So they're just going to throw it over and over all day long. Justin's quarterback will be 4. Hey, I did better for you this time. Oh, sorry. That's Prescott. See? Spoke too soon. 6. Mahomes. Yeah, that's okay. All right. Okay, Tyree, I need another quarterback from you. On deck is my mom versus Blind Assassin. And that statistic will be yards. Tyree's going Mahomes. Good choice. Justin. This is unbelievable. 12. I'm rolling very high tonight. All right. Okay, Blind Assassin. You got you're on deck here for yards. Or you're next for yards. Nefertiti, you got a bye, Milena. Good job. Great win. It's a well fought. Nightwalker in Deutschland. I don't know if you're on tonight, but you get a bye. Congratulations. Alpha Courage 3 versus Justin again is on deck. And your stat will be touchdown, interception, or turnover ratio. Don't want to get too far ahead here. So I need a quarterback from Blind Assassin. Nightwalker is here. Let's go. Sehr gut. Good timing. This music I've been playing is it's a side project by me and my friend Daniel Meyer. These are the demos that he provided. who's German. You know, he's in Germany. German. Deutschland. Okay, Blind Assassin says purdy. You got a purdy mouth. Okay, for my mom. All right, Mom, here we go. Just roll a 6 or under. 4! Boom! Let's go. Prescott. She finally got a decent quarterback. Look at that. Okay. Okay, Elf. What you got, buddy? Touchdown, interception, or touchdown turnover ratio. On deck is Tyree Vaughn versus Nightly Sinister, with the statistic of yards. Let's go. Elf of Courage picks a hybrid quarterback called Tua Josh Allen. Interesting. I don't think you're allowed to do that. All right, he's going Tua. Elf of Courage is trying to find another way to circumvent the rules. All right. Well, with the ratio thing, that kind of fixes that, doesn't it? Well, no, because if you picked a backup that didn't play, you would get a 0-0, so you might actually win doing that. But we don't allow that anymore. It's got to be a starter. It's got to be a quarterback on my list. So if they're not on the approved list, they do not get to be. Okay, Justin. I rolled a 6 for Justin. That's Mahomes. Whoa. Okay, Tyree, need a quarterback from you for yards. And Nightly Sinister, did he ever come back? Yeah, he picked Murray and then disappeared. Tyree Vaughn is going with the quarterback known as Dot. I don't know. Milena, I don't think Dot's having a very good year this year. I think that was a risky pick by Tyree Vaughn. Okay, he's going Mahomes. He's putting all of his bread in the Mahomes basket. I like it. Against his own team, of all things. Okay. Nightly Sinister. Another 10. Unbelievable. Jordan Love. Dad, you get a bye. Congratulations. And that's it. That's everybody. Good job, guys. All right. Nice. Nobody wanted to go with Joe Flacco? No one? Joe Flacco's the man. Well, before we go, just want to, yeah, Israel, you ran. You had a bye. I just want to bring up something. There's a thing called the NBA Cup. It's so stupid. I had to look it up. The NBA in-season tournament is the National Basketball Association regular season tournament during the league's 2023-24 season. The tournament was officially announced on July 8th. Okay, didn't even know because I don't keep up with it. The trophy that is awarded to the championship team is called the NBA Cup. Apparently, this it's a NBA's way of challenging for ratings against the NFL while the NFL is in season. This might be the most pathetic thing I've ever seen a sports league do. This is just sad, sad, sad. And apparently the Lakers won it. So they're going to hang a banner for that. That's that reminds me of the Colts, raising a AFC Championship loss banner or something like that. I think they did. Unless that was a joke. I'm hoping that was a joke. All right. Yeah, so I just wanted to mention that's probably one of the more pathetic things I've seen. Yeah, that is just really just bad. Aw, Denver Broncos, look at their 3 Super Bowl Lombardis. How cute is that? We're just checking, seeing if is anything funny that I missed or anything interesting. Oh, Bill Belichick without Tom Brady and weekly cheating scandals. That's rough. Okay. Yep. Oh, look at this. Gord King posted this. If you own a Chargers jersey and live in the greater Los Angeles area, please be at practice tomorrow at 9 a.m. Ouch. That hurts. Okay, this is freaking awesome. I'm sure you guys remember this, but this is just, it's crazy. As a reminder, I think this clip is from 06. I think it's from 06. Let's find out.
They take away Brady's receivers from him. Brady never says a negative word. All Brady does is win. 3 rings so far. How many rings those other guys have? Tom Brady wins 3 out of every 4 games he starts. Nobody active is close to him. No quarterback in the entire Super Bowl era is equal to him. Not Montana. Not Elway, not Staubach, not Bradshaw, not Favre, not Marino. Sure, Belichick's a genius, but he's not out there getting his uniform dirty. He's in a sweatshirt like some homeless guy. They take away Brady's receivers from him. Brady never says a negative word. He just puts that schmutz under his eyes and leads his team out of the boat and onto the beach. Like Bogey in Casablanca, like Clint Eastwood and Dirty Harry, yeah, like Jack Bauer in 24, you can count on Tom Brady. He's got the Patriots 5-1, and you can't name a single receiver they've got. He's throwing the ball to guys named Mo, and that's why they call him the Golden Boy. You got a game to play for your life? Come on, you're picking Tom Brady. Plus, he's got the hot girlfriend. Is this a great country or what, huh?
It is.
Okay. Just some good memories. Okay. There was a report that this would be Bill's last season. Yeah, I think it's quite possible. What I would actually recommend for Bill is to try to go to like a vacation type team, like just the typical go to a place that's got some good weather, just a program that's got some good players, just kind of have a little fun there. But it's a bit different for a coach because it's different for a coach that is also the GM, because he's the one that destroyed the roster in New England, and to all of a sudden have to go and to another team with a roster that somebody else put together is kind of pathetic, So, I mean, it's a weird situation. But I think with the Chargers firing their head coach and the general manager, I think that's a clear message sent that they want Belichick. Because it doesn't really make sense for them to fire their general manager. I don't see what he did wrong. I think he put together a good roster. So I don't really get the point of firing him, other than if you're trying to entice Belichick to come coach your team, because that Bill's going to want to be GM. So, yeah, I think that's it. I think the Patriots will trade Belichick to the Chargers, similar to how Kraft had to trade to get him with the Jets. So I think that's a situation that's going to happen. It's going to be San Diego. It's going to be Los Angeles. It's going to be the Chargers. Other recommended teams, as far as I'm concerned, would be, well, it wouldn't be though, but the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, they're going to be making a change soon, but I don't know. I don't think it's as good of a choice. I don't think it's as good of a target as the Chargers. Well, it doesn't even matter. It's the Chargers. So Bill Belichick will be the general manager and the coach of the Chargers next season. So you might as well just put that in the history books and just call it a day, because that's what's going to be. With that change, the New England Patriots, as far as their end, Robert Kraft, in my opinion, should step back, give the team to Jonathan, and let Jonathan start his era of running the team fresh with his own GM and new head coach, and let Jonathan do everything the way he wants to do it. And I think that would be best for the Patriots. But we all know that Kraft won't do that, but he should. Now, this is not any kind of me saying that Bill's gonna, be gone. It's not saying that I think somebody out there is better or something, because I don't know. It could get much worse. But it's how much worse? I mean, one win team, but I just think it's time. I think it's run its course in New England, and I think it's just a change thing. It's been 23 years. 23 years he's had absolute control of the Patriots. It's been, well, after this season it will be four complete seasons without Tom Brady, and he's done absolutely nothing. So that's bad. That's pathetic, actually. So no, the only way Bill would want to coach the Chargers is because they have Justin Herbert. So, but again, that's a funny thing, that Bill's going to have to go to a team because his roster is so shitty. He's going to have to go to a team with a roster that was created by a guy who just got fired because the coach sucked. So that's going to be an interesting situation, but it is clearly why the Chargers did that. It's very obvious. So there's no reason to fire the GM other than that. That's what they're thinking. That's what they're planning. That's what's happening. So Bill Belichick will be the head coach / general manager for the Los Angeles Chargers next year. There you go. Done deal. So, all right. So, I'm going to take off. I've got a lot of packing to do, a lot of stuff to get ready for my trip tomorrow. We're like I said, we're going to Arkansas for Christmas, but I will be talking to you guys. I'm going to try to get on a little bit, hopefully for the Chiefs Pats game, or Sunday night. I might check in if not during the game, and then maybe Monday night we'll try to check in too. So, and then we'll see you next week for the normal show. Okay. So thank you guys so much. And I appreciate you guys being here, and good luck, all you guys who are in the tournament. And all right, so let's go.
This is the man with the most badass name in sports, the Pharaoh, the Egyptian god himself, Amon-Ra St. Brown. And on behalf of my man Von Allen, we want to thank you for your support. Let's fucking go.
If you're not watching Von Allen Sports, fuck you.